I managed to get a British designer with over 1.4 million followers just on Instagram to sponsor one of my films. Do you send out hundreds of emails and get no replies? Let's break down how to actually get responses and how to make cold outreach a win-win. First and foremost, we need to make cold outreach a win-win situation. And what do I mean by this? Cold outreach isn't about you. It's about the person you're emailing and what you can do for this person or brand. So this means no more "can I pick your brain" types of emails. Those only take and not give. Flip it around and show what you can actually give the other person and what they gain by replying to you. And this method has worked for me time and time again, so I wanted to break it down. Personalize your message. It is so obvious when someone has sent out a mass email to multiple companies, people. It is just so obvious where you haven't done your research. It's a copy and paste scenario. Even if you're reaching out to multiple people, tweak it for every single person. 5 well-researched messages are way better than 50 messages that's the same and you're just getting the dopamine hit of send. Don't chase that dopamine. Chase the actual reward of getting a response. So my example, I got Nadeem Marabi, who is an amazing British designer, to come on board my film EVOL. And I pitched to them that their clothing will be featured on Amelia Clarkson and also that the dress will be the prominent feature on a poster, and I'll plaster their name on everything, having a credit on the end and telling every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So therefore, they're getting something in return. So for them, they felt like this was a win-win situation and how I was able to get them on board the film because I said to them what they get in return. So I wanted to present a bad email. This is what it looks like. I have received very similar things to this. So if you're like, there's no way I would say something like that, or someone says that, it definitely has, because this is from an example that I've received in my inbox. So here we go. Dear Harp On team. So firstly, stop right there. If you've gone to my website, you would have seen my name as the founder, and I also don't currently have a team. So this for me is already a red flag. They haven't done their research. They haven't looked at who I am, what I'm doing, why are they reaching out to me? And then you'll see the rest is just all about them. It's about their experience, their goals, their gear. There's no real value for me as the receiver. So then it just goes straight to the bin, if I'm honest. My name is Tom and I run a video agency in Washington, DC. Why are you reaching out to me when I clearly state that I am in London and also Perth, Australia? They're the 2 countries that I work with, I have no affiliation with Washington, DC. So again, red flag. I've been doing this for years and I've built up a really strong portfolio across weddings, commercial shoots, and travel projects. I have tons of ideas and I'm always keen to connect with other businesses that can help elevate my own brand. I will be also going into weddings, corporate shoots, and all the things. So what is my benefit to elevating your brand? I genuinely have received something like this. I would love to work with Harp On, mostly because I think having your name on my reel will look great and could help me get bigger clients. I have experience with high-end gear, great, and lots of contacts across Washington, DC. Again, means nothing to me. If you have time, I'd love to discuss how I can use your platform for some of my ideas or potentially tap into your audience. Let me know if you're open to a chat so I can share more about what makes my work stand out. Thanks, Tom. So this is all about Tom. Tom has easily mass producers and send this to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yeah, it's just disengaging as a reader. Like for me, that gives me no incentive to reply off the bat. So it's coming back to like, how can I actually make this worthwhile for the person that is receiving this email? So now I would like to share with you what a good email looks like. So I'm giving the example that I got when I went on Stephen Bartlett's tour in April of 2024. And I thought this was a brilliant example of what a good email is. There are some tweaks that I would do to it, but I do believe this is a great email. So it follows 5 steps of introduction, reward, ideology, coercion, and ego. So this email says, "Hi Parasonic." So firstly, I would see if you can potentially find a person in this company. So if you find Harry, and Harry is in charge of partnerships, I would look for their email on LinkedIn, on Google. I would try to find multiple ways of how to find a specific person. And I will take the time to do this instead of sending, again, a generic email. But yeah, continuing. First and foremost, congratulations on winning the National Camera Award trophy. You guys really have pioneered what it means to be a camera company. So starting off with all about them. First and foremost, congratulations. So again, it's introduction because it's all about the other person and it's not about me. We're launching the largest community of videography students in the world, and we're currently looking for a partner brand that all the students in our community will use. The brand will have its logo on every video that our students make for 1 year. And because our community is full of the most talented students in the world, I'm sure those students will always have an affinity to the brand as they continue in their careers. Why this is important? This gives Panasonic good rewards. So, one, they get to influence people at an early stage in their life about what cameras they should use. They get, for 1 year, every video will have their logo on it. So for them as a company, they could potentially see this as a reward and a good vision for them in the future, because if they do use it, if say the students do use it in the future, then they will have more sales, etc., etc. So you can see how the company would benefit from this. So that's reward. Ideology. Our project aims to insert Parasonic vision or mission statement here. So you want to go on their website, find their values, find their mission statement. There is always, if you're contacting a brand, you will always find their values. You will always find their mission statement, or at least one of the two. If you're contacting a person that doesn't have a brand, I would look through their social media, anything to find what they do value and relate it within the email. Because when you go on to Coercion, you can tie it back. We're in late stage discussions with insert competitor's name. But after seeing your award win last night, I wanted to put this opportunity in front of you too, because we feel so aligned in values. Again, tying back that you both had the same values, say it's education. Maybe Parasonic have education as an important value. Therefore, you would home in on education and bringing how that would help Parasonic with their values, mission statement, etc. And also, what this part does as well is it creates a sense of urgency. And I do recommend putting something like this in there. But you have to be really intelligent about the way you do it, because you don't want to come from a place of like a lose-lose situation, because the sense of urgency will create a quick reaction from the receiver's end to do something about it, because in a few weeks' time, 6 weeks' time, a year later, they can't reply because the opportunity has now left. Creating a timestamp in that way is very helpful if you're wanting to move things along. Finally, ego. If you are able to partner with us on this one, would love to recognize your support by including you in our Student Champions Hall of Fame, our on-campus Hall of Fame for people and brands that have championed and supported students the most. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I do remember Steven said that he did something like this, but didn't really have a Hall of Fame. It was literally like stuff in their office. This was very years ago. I would refrain from doing this. So the only thing that I would change in this is if you don't have a Hall of Fame, don't pretend there's one. I'm not going to pretend in my office that there's a Hall of Fame and I'm going to put your brand all over, because the only person that's going to see it is me. I would do something along the lines of would be happy to put your logo at the footer of our webpage, where we receive X amount of people monthly visiting our website. Something like that would help them. And then obviously you can include it with thanks and your name. I wanted to give you an example of what's a good email and what's a bad email. So that's how you turn a cold email into a conversation starter. The trick isn't about sending more emails, it's sending better ones. Personalized, purposeful, win-win communication always wins. I had someone in the comments ask for this particular video. If there is anything that you would like me to cover, please comment below and I will surely get onto that as well. If you found this breakdown helpful, follow for more creative business tips and more insights while I build Harp On. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.